Hello, today is January 14th, 2017. What I want to do is to go over my last call, analyze what I think's going on, make a prediction, and then from an email request, I'd like to go over how I've personally traded using the MEJT system and what a good trade for Tuesday would be. Well, we had a MEJT target of 2265.53. I have a standard trading rule that if we have an opening, a gap strongly in the undesired direction, that many times that target's out of reach, and that's what happened. We'll just add that to the list. I said if we dropped sharply from the open, it could be very steep. That didn't happen. I said if we went up instead, it would create a very dicey situation. I thought we'd probably break higher. Let's go over why it's a dicey situation and what my thought process was. Well, here's your stilt. Here's your stilt. Half a diamond's enough. So there's your diamond on stilts. Here's the origin of the left stilt. That's a support resistance level. That usually will hold. The catch is this. When we did this, we had bar 13 of a sequential sell signal on the 78-minute chart. We also had resistance here. So you can make a case that that was a high. However, Friday was a day which typically starts out low, rallies into the close. It's a day right before a long weekend which has a strong tendency to be up, and a rally would retest a higher level that's been retested many times. I thought all those things would lead to a break higher. I considered the possibility of a low to high day which was weak, and I rejected it because I thought it was a very low odds possibility. Well, that's what happened. Right now, you can see we have a cup and a handle, and if we break up sharply Tuesday, we should be off to the races on the upside. What if we don't? Well, a day which is a low to high day which closes down like this is very negative unless it's negated by having a gap over this high, or at least gapping up and trading over this promptly. So if we don't go up sharply, I look for a drop sharply, and we'll come back to that when we come to Tuesday's trade. So Tuesday's open should be critical, and probably for more than just a day. Well, this is still a valid count as far as I'm concerned. If this is wave 1, we haven't gone over the top, and that's your wave W, X, and Z. This could be a leading diagonal triangle for 1. This could be 3 waves up for 2, and if we drop, it's a wave 3 down of multiple degree, and it should be a doozy. Here's bar 13. Here's the level that we've tested many times, but let's not forget, if we break through here, it's down we go. So we look for a gap opening on Tuesday, or at least a move out of this trading range very promptly, and probably with a lot of staying power. So we should have a major change in trend on Tuesday. Here's the MEJT system. Here's our failed price target. Early on, it said ultimately lower prices would print. Here's the white dot. We got the minimum. Usually we get more than the minimum, so as we were consolidating here on a day which typically tends to go up, MEJT said there was a strong likelihood we would drop. Well, what's the best way to trade using MEJT? Or in fact, is MEJT the best way to trade at all? There are any number of trading systems out there. There's RSI, there's MEJT, moving averages, Bollinger Bands, cycles, Astro, Elliott Wave. Which one should one use? And the answer is, I think, we should use all of them. It says in the book, well, this isn't working as well as I thought it would. Just open the whole thing up. I would use all of them. MEJT is designed to be used by experienced traders in addition to, rather than in place of, other systems. I was trading for years before I developed MEJT. I already knew when to enter. I knew when to exit. I had trading rules. I didn't scrap them when MEJT came around. I just added to them. And that's the person who should be using it. It's not someone who doesn't know how to trade, who wants to buy the system and suddenly coin money. That's not going to happen. If all I had were MACD or moving averages, I wouldn't make anything either. They're good systems. I like them, but they're just not enough to trade alone. The real money is made when you add them all together. What I'm claiming is MEJT is a very accurate system. My personal track record, I don't lose from MEJT very often. I've been doing videos over 6 years. There were many times, like Friday, when the target from MEJT was taken off the table before the market opened. I think that's a pretty common thing. But as far as me recommending a trade based on MEJT which lost money, I'd say hardly ever. I've had many great personal winning streaks. I once made 30 straight trades without taking a loss. I had one of 28. I've had any number of times. I had over 20. I've never lost that many times in a row. I don't think that's an accident. In addition to the MEJT system, I use other rules. I'm not going to claim my rules, non-MEJT rules, are the best. I have certain constraints when I trade, and that's why using my track record isn't really the best test of the system. I don't make my money trading. I don't make my money selling my book. I don't make my money selling software. I make money by practicing medicine. That's what I do. I can't take any trade if I have surgery. My schedule's busy. If there isn't a potential for profit, and if I can't be around to close out the trade. There are many trades I see I like to take, but I can't because I know I won't be around to close them out or to cut losses if they happen. I usually trade at lunchtime in the afternoon, and that's not when the money's made. And that's still what I've done. I'll tell you my personal track record for this year. I haven't been able to trade that much. I won on the first 8 trades I made. I lost on 2. And then I won 4 times in a row on the 2 trades I lost. One wasn't based on the system, and I was in those trades put together under 5 minutes. I think everyone who's going to trade should have rules. You should have a reasonable entry, a well-defined exit, a good risk-reward ratio, and have a good potential for profits. And if you don't have all those things, don't swing at the pitch. Let's go over some trades I made Thursday and Friday and talk about what I think on Tuesday should be done. Well, when we were trading here, I guess this is late Wednesday, MEJT said there was a lower price target here. So I was looking to go short. I tried it here. It didn't work. I closed that one out in a minute. I tried it here. right at the high. When the market opened on Thursday, we had a big drop. I made back that money and a lot more besides. Now I closed it out here. Here's the MEJT price. All I knew at this time was that I was at a support level. I didn't know if we'd drop more, which we did, or if we'd recover, which we did. All I knew here was I made my money. I was at a support. I wasn't going to be around the rest of the morning, and even if it dropped, I might not be around to take the money. For all I know, I wouldn't come back to see the market again till it was up again. I can't stay in trades like that. People who trade all day long can. I did take a short right over here at the high. I went to see a few patients. I returned. I had a meager profit. I had to close it out. If I don't have a large potential profit, I can't stay in it. So I made a pittance there, but it beats losing. There were some concerns about people who would go short right when the signal's given. I don't think that's a good risk-reward ratio. I think the good risk-reward ratio is when the target's far away. Let's go over this trade I took here. When I took the trade here, the target was far away. That gives me a good possible reward on the trade. When prices were here, right when it said it was false, and that's the target, I don't have a good reward. So if I don't have a good reward, I don't take the trade. You have to have a reasonable price to get in and a reasonable price to get out, and those don't have to be based on MEJT. Now what would I do on Tuesday? Well, I think Tuesday we're going to have a big move up. I think we're going to have a big move on Tuesday. I think Friday would have been a good time to put on a purchase of an option straddle. If I'm right, we get a huge move, you make money. And if I'm wrong, the decay is very small, you don't lose much. That's what I would do Tuesday. It has nothing to do with the MEJT system. But if I'm wrong about what's going to happen here and we gap up, I think we'll go up and there'll be plenty of times to make money. And if I'm right and we have a big drop, I think there'll be plenty of times to make money. And if you don't have a good reward and a good entry and a good exit well defined, don't take the trade. The market will be around tomorrow. So for Tuesday, I look for a big move. And I think you'll have staying power. And that's today's call.